Hello. Hi, Cindy and George. Okay, I saw a theatrical performance about puns. It was really just a play on words. Good one, George. Nancy, good morning. Carolyn, good morning. Stevie, good morning. George, hello. Joanne, hello. And Lynn and Dave, hello. All right, so I got to preface today's class by saying that there's lots going on around here. I'm actually having work done on my house, and I told them, okay, I'm going to teach yoga for an hour and 15 minutes. They said, okay, we won't come in the house. We'll be doing work outside or whatever. They're underneath my house, and I hear drills. So I don't know what's going to happen today. At some point, you might need to turn off the noise, turn me off, and just watch me because I hear it. So I'm not sure if you guys are going to hear it. And hopefully this will work, and we'll be able to do this for a whole hour and 15 minutes. And I don't know what will happen at the end with Shavasana. Can you hear that? And then I remember that this is a stress reduction class. And so the noise of the drill and the chaos of having people here at this time, you know, how many hours are there in a week? But at this hour, they're here doing this. So this is just a way to, you know, become a duck and say, que sera, sera. So this is about being here, about moving your body, releasing stored muscular tension, whatever it is for you, it is, and it still will be that. So let's attempt to connect our mind, body, and soul in silence through yoga. See if it works. Good morning, Sharon. Nice to have you here as well. All right, so let's see what's happening. Okay, so, oh my God, and there's dust all over my floor, so we'll see. Okay, so for today's practice, I will focus on releasing stored muscular tension with stretching and strengthening the part of us that helps us deal with life, and especially that postural component, because aging is a stressor. And so not only do we have stress in life, but the longer we live in this, the more potential for the pressure from above, right? So whether we're sitting or standing, and then you have that compressive force from above, that's part of the whole process as well. So I like to really strengthen your hanger that holds you up so that you can actually not give in to that stress and that pressure. And when I say not give in, I don't just mean you as, oh my gosh, I can't take this anymore. I mean your bones and your body inside. So that's a lot of force on the spine from above. And so we need the muscular structure of our body to help hold us up, to create that space, especially in our spine and in our joints of our spine. So for today's practice, I'd like you to have a block and a strap and a blanket, and of course a mat. And I say, of course, a mat, but actually not really. In India, the birthplace of yoga, I've almost never practiced on a mat. They have rugs or these plastic mats they roll out, and often it was practiced at the beach, so in the sand or in grass. So anyway, wherever you are is good. Don't make it complicated. And we're going to begin on our backs. You can either come into a totally flat supine position on your back, or if that's not appropriate for you, you could come halfway and put blankets or pillows underneath your spine. So it really depends on where you're at. Like each day is different. We're going to come down on the ground and we're going to do a little muscular tension release. So we're going to create stress by contracting our muscle, and then we're going to slowly release and allow that to release. And this is a really great way to bring your mind to wherever you have tension in your body. So if you know that you have issues in your body or you're feeling tight, you're not sure where it is, if you do this entire body contract and release, then you disrupt the signal of contraction in the body. And so that's what we're going to practice with first. So have your blanket at the top or whatever it is you're going to do to begin your practice. And then bring yourself all the way down onto your mat. Let's do a little bit before we come into that by just arriving and feeling our way into this.
So take your legs a little bit wider than your body, not quite as wide as the mat, and do a little bit of side to side action here. And if you'd like, you could bring your arms straight out to the side or bring them into a scarecrow or goalpost position. And let your legs go side to side. If you'd like to close your eyes, start to feel, go into the feel aspect, bring your awareness from the subconscious brain to the conscious brain. So you're actually moving in your brain from the back of the brain to the front of the brain, where deeper reasoning and more intellectual thought takes place is in this cortical brain. And that's where we have the sensory cortex. So go to the place where you could feel your body moving. Notice if you feel any tight areas. Go slow if you do have issues. So if you are in a place with a tight low back or anything, you want to really tread lightly, go slowly. Then bring yourself back to center. Take your feet a little wider. This time I want you to go all the way off the mat and start to go side to side with the eyes closed, exploring, feeling, sensing, and noticing. Start to match it with breath, where you inhale as your knees go to the side slowly, and you exhale as your knees come back to center. People often say to me, I don't know what to do when I'm not in a class being guided. So I'm going to say that this movement pattern is called windshield wiper. Right? I don't even know if it's a traditional posture in yoga. I don't know if there is a name for the side-to-side movement of some of these warm-ups. I've heard of this termed as windshield wiper. I do know that it's a hip joint movement, internal, external rotation. The pelvis gets some movement, the low back gets movement, and so does the lower part of the body, your rotational muscles. And that's where a lot of injuries and issues occur for people. So inhale, let your legs go to the side. Exhale, gently push your belly button back towards your spine to come back to center. And begin to feel the body weight rocking from side to side. So the eyes are closed. You're in your tushy, or you're in your hips or your pelvis with your awareness. You inhale into the stretch. You feel, explore what is safe. Where should you go? And then you exhale to come back up to center, gently activating your core, push your belly button to your spine, maybe a little active lift of the pelvic floor muscles as well as you lift inward and upward in the midline of the body. So doing whatever you can to notice what you notice. You're going to start stretching some areas you need and releasing tension and creating fluid secretion to make you nice and juicy, so that when you do move, you're less likely to tear, to rip, or to cause injury in your body. And motion is motion. The next time you come to one side, turn your head in the opposite direction. Let your body gently open and stretch without going too crazy here. Just want to start to bring some movement. With each exhalation, can you let go a little more? Let go of holding. Turn muscles off. On your next exhale, bring your legs up to center and slowly allow your legs to go to the other side. Let the head go in the other direction. With each exhalation, let go a little more. Let go, let go, let go. On your next exhale, come back up to center. Take your hands down alongside your body, palms are down on the ground, and let your legs go all the way straight. So hopefully those with low back issues, that softened up the low back enough to go into a straight leg position. And of course, if it didn't, then bring your knees back to a bent knee position. Always choosing what's appropriate for you. There is no right way to practice. There is no right way to do any of these postures. There is a right way for your body. It's not that it needs to look a certain way. It needs to fit you. You want to make the posture fit your body, not you fitting the posture. So come into a full body stretch if you're able to. And if you're not, then bend your knees or do whatever you need to do. Slide your shoulder blades closer to your spine, press your head into the floor, lift your chest up away from the floor, and slide the shoulder blades towards each other. Let's do a progressive tension and release, muscular contraction and release. Let your back teeth be separated, let the lips touch. Bring your awareness down to your left foot and your left calf area. I want you to point your foot or feel like you're making a fist with your left foot and the calf area. Make it nice and tight, tight, tight. And then slowly release. Release the foot, release the calf. Let it go back to completely relaxed. You bring your awareness up to the upper thigh. Contract your upper thigh muscles slowly, as if you were making a fist with your upper thigh. Contract, contract, contract. And then gently release, release, release. Bring your awareness now down to your right foot and right lower leg. Point the foot, contract, contract, contract. Make it as tight as you can. Maybe you get to a place of shake. And then slowly, slowly release, release, release. Bring your awareness to your upper right thigh and contract. Let your awareness go there as if you're looking at the muscle, hugging the femur bone, the front, the back. Your muscles are contracting to hug the bone, squeeze, press into the bone, feel the muscles contract, and then slowly, slowly release. Bring your awareness to your buttocks and slowly start to contract your tushy. Your body will rise a little bit away from the floor. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Keep squeezing. Maybe you get to the place of shake. Feel the contraction of the glutes. And then slowly, slowly release. Let the release come in so you feel the softening. You feel that your muscles are completely like jello at the end of release. I want you to bring your awareness to your pelvic floor. It's the base of your body from one side to the other and from the front to the back. Think of two hammocks, one on top of the other. Those are the pelvic floor muscles. And then can you bring your awareness to the very center? Draw everything to the center and gently lift up, up, up to the belly. Strong contraction of the lower part of your torso. Feel a deep contraction deep inside. Slowly, slowly, slowly release. Bring your awareness to your lower torso. So the core muscles, like a corset from the lower ribs to where your legs attach to your body. We're going to draw tight, tight, tight towards the center, making your body go towards an hourglass shape from the low ribs to where your legs attach to your body. Inhale, and as you exhale, contract, contract, contract. Feel that tension, contract, contract, contract. And then slowly, slowly release. Bring your awareness to your chest. We're going to do an exhale and a total contraction on the exhale of the rib cage towards the heart. Inhale, feel the expansion. As you exhale, feel the contraction and keep going, and hold that contraction. Squeeze every last drop out of your lungs. And then release. Bring your awareness to your left hand. Make a very tight fist. Tight fist. Maybe to the place of shake. And then slowly release. Bring your awareness to the lower arm. Tension in the lower arm. And then release. To the upper arm. Tension. Hug the bone with the muscles. And then release. Let your left arm be heavy. Bring your awareness now over to the right hand. Tight fist. Tight fist. And then slowly release. To the lower arm. Hug those two bones in the lower arm with your muscles in whatever way you can feel that happen. And then release. To the upper arm bone you go. Hug, contract. Feel that. And then slowly. Let it go and let the arm be heavy so you feel the weight of the arm on the floor. Bring your awareness to your jaw. Take your jaw, open your jaw as wide as you can. Open the mouth. And then slowly let that go. Bring your awareness to your mouth. Clench your teeth, make a tight face. Clench the teeth. And then go ahead and let that go. So we actually hold a lot of tension in our jaw. So when you do this, opening the mouth and closing, this is the opportunity to reduce a lot of stress that we hold throughout our day in our head and our mouth. Bring your awareness to your eyes and squinch your eyes tight. Tight. Feel the eyes really tight, like you're squinting against the hot sun. And then slowly release. Feel the release coming in when you let go. And then you have your whole body. So make your whole entire body tense. Everything. Squeeze your hands, squeeze your feet, squeeze your arms. Maybe your arms lift off the floor. Maybe you get shaky. Squeeze your tushy. Compress your lungs. Active pelvic floor, active core. And then let go of everything. Go soft, and allow your body to feel as heavy as it can as you no longer contract all the muscles in the body. And then bring your awareness to your fingers and awareness to your toes. Start to move your fingers and your toes. And then we're going to move in whatever way feels appropriate for your body. Maybe you could come into a full body stretch, reaching your arms overhead, reaching your toes away from you. Really stretch. If you are in a fully extended position, make sure you have a lot of space by pulling your rib cage away from your pelvis. All those muscles underneath the ribs. That gets really tight from sitting a lot. That gets tight from gravity pushing from above. And we need to open the front of our spine and pull away all this pressure that's on the front of the spine. That's where most of the fractures in the spine occur, from posture or from pressure from above. Take one more breath. And then go ahead and let's bend your knees. Draw your knees into your chest. Really compress the knees into the chest so the low back presses up against the floor. Just in case during any of that, you actually caused a little bit of aggravation in the lower back. And then for some of you, you may be able to come into a ball by taking your arm and your other arm, so the elbows are on the outside of the knees, and your hands grab your elbows. And then, maybe your hips might not let you, your knees might not let you, your spine might not let you. But just see what you could do. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Take deep breaths to your belly. And then go ahead and bring yourself all the way out. Let's take your legs to the side. Let's bring the arms to the side. Let's do that windshield wiper action here, Lenny. Your legs go side to side. Release tension. And then we're going to stretch our back here. So just in case there was tension. I know for me, I could feel stuff in my back because when you are contracting really strong, especially the core, the pelvic floor, that can actually maybe go to your back. So I want to do a little softening of the back here. So make sure you have the blanket behind your head. Take the right leg over the left leg. So you're going all the way over. The right leg is going to go all the way over the left leg. So the back of the right thigh touches the top of the left thigh. There's no space. I don't have space here. I'm actually completely letting the right leg be on top of the left leg completely. So make sure you're doing that. Take your arms out to the side. Let's inhale. Let the legs move towards the left. So the left sole of the foot is on the floor, and your right leg is moving away from you first and towards the left. So you want a lot of space in your right waist here. So you're really stretching here, and pay attention to the low back and the hip here to make sure this feels appropriate for you. You're going to inhale to the left, exhale, contract your core, push your belly button back towards your spine to come back up to center. Inhale to the left. Exhale back to center. Inhale. And exhale. Feel that stretch on the side. On the next one, I want you to inhale and stay there. Stay over to the side. For those of you with low back issues, push your belly button to your spine. You want to make sure that you're supported. Hopefully you feel this in your hip joint, in the back of the right hip joint. If you have a posterior hip replacement, I would be careful with this. So if you have a hip replacement and your incision line is back here, not in the front of your body, but back here, I would be careful on how much tension you create. Even though I do have a posterior hip replacement, not on this side, the other side. My physician said I could do whatever, but I still wonder how much he knows, how much pulling, because this is definitely posterior hip. So see what feels appropriate. It may also be going into the low back for some of you. Could be really nice and therapeutic. It could also be poking the monster for those of you that have a lot of protection in your body. Take one more breath. And then exhale, push your belly button back towards your spine to come up to center, right? Because we're trying to reduce or release stored tension in the muscle, in the body. And it's not always that you know where that tension is. This deep stretching here is a great way to release tension, but you have to be in your body to make sure your body knows that you're doing this intentionally, because it's just trying to protect you. Now you're going to take the left leg. Let the left leg touch the top of the right thigh. So when you cross your leg, you touch the top of your thigh. Your arms are to the side. Now we're going to go to the right. You want to make sure you have space in your left waist. And remember, posterior hip replacement people, you're going to be careful with being in that hip joint to see what feels like enough tension. And I'd say hip replacement is done before 2008, because that's when they came out with some of the newer joints that don't dislocate as often as the other ones did. Maybe too much information for those of you without hip replacements, but I have a hip replacement. I need to warn my hipster friends. All right, you're going to exhale to prepare, and then inhale to let your legs go over to the right. And when they go, have a nice long waist. So push that top left leg away from you and then let it go over to the side. Exhale back to center. Go slow. Don't go big, go slow. Get into the nooks and crannies of tension in your body. And you should also be in your hip or low back or waist to feel what feels appropriate. On your next one, I'd like you to stay there. Come into the stretch and stay in the stretch. Deep breaths. And maybe you go all the way to the floor and maybe you don't. So it also depends on your body. I don't go all the way to the floor on the right because of the position of my pelvis and hip on the right side. I have more range of motion on the left. So we all have different aspects to our body. Remember, it's the postures have to fit your body. You don't have to fit the posture. Take one more breath. And then exhale to bring yourself back. Push yourself off the floor. So I'd like to do a little sequence here that is strengthening the back of the body, strengthening the core, stabilizing the pelvis, strengthening the pelvis. So get your block, and if you don't have a block, you could use a rolled up towel. Something to, when you squeeze the legs together, gives you some nice pelvic stabilizing support and turns on the stabilizing muscles. And that's important because we use the big muscles so much, we don't think about our stabilizing muscles. And your stabilizing muscles are smaller, so it's not big effort the way it is when we use the big mover muscles, the bigger muscles that are on the outside of the body. We're in the skeleton here, in the bones, the supportive aspect of the bones. All right, so let's do a little bit first. The block is between the legs. Keep your hands down alongside your body. Walk your feet closer to your body. When you contract your core, you activate your pelvic floor by drawing inward and lifting up. And then the core is like a corset that from all the way around the back and the sides wraps towards the center and then pushes down towards the spine to stabilize the spine so the spine doesn't rock. So I want you to really think about hugging your spine with your core, activating the pelvic floor. So activate, stabilize the core, take your hands down alongside your body. Let's bring the legs up, flex the feet. So the block is between your knees, the inner knee joint or the upper thighs. Flex the feet here. You're going to inhale, let your legs go over to the side. Contract your core, stabilize that pelvis, hug the spine to come back to center. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, exhale. Go slow, feel what you feel. One more to each side. And then bring yourself back to center. If you did move away from the blanket, bring yourself back up. Take the block out and then go ahead and put the block back in. Walk your feet away from your body a little bit, and then let's take that blanket away from the back of the head. We're going to go through a flowing bridge, and then we'll actually do a static hold. Now with the flowing bridge, the feet need to be away from you in the beginning, because when you lift your body up, you don't want to put any pressure in your head and neck. And we're actually going to use our arms here too, to loosen up the shoulders, soften up the shoulders and the neck, because this will be helpful for posture and softening any tension you have in your body posturally. So press your arms into the floor, lift your upper body up and slide your shoulder blades towards each other so you have that nice stabilizing aspect of the shoulder girdle. Walk your feet, your thumbs are up, hands are down alongside your body. Lift your head up, lengthen the back of the neck and tuck the chin towards the spine. Push your feet into the floor, push your low back towards the floor. Take an inhale and an exhale. On your next inhale, push your feet into the floor, lift your left arm up, rotate your head to the right, and exhale to lower. Inhale, lift up, right arm, head to the left, exhale to lower. Inhale. So you're not lifting up too high here. You maybe lift off your body to right behind the heart. One more to each side. And bring yourself back to center. Let's come into a held position here. Bring your feet closer to your body. Make sure your block is between your knees. Lengthen your head. Arms are down alongside your body. If you need to readjust, sliding shoulder blades closer to your body. Setting yourself up for a nice, solid, good structural position here as we strengthen the muscles in our back. Let's begin by contracting the core, pressing the low back towards the floor. Arms are down alongside your body, palms are on the floor. And then begin to peel your spine off the floor. Squeeze the block, squeeze the tushy. Peel your spine. So bring yourself all the way up. For those of you that don't know this, I'm having work done. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. Squeeze the block, lift your pelvis, lengthen your knees. Press your heart towards your chin. Press your arms into the floor. Feel the solid aspect as you push away from the floor. Feel your back. Feel that strength in your back. Take one more breath. When you come down slowly, one vertebra at a time. Bring the blanket behind your head. Draw your knees and rock side to side. So hopefully my house doesn't fall apart around me. Crazy. Sorry. It's so crazy. They're actually directly underneath my house right below me. What are the chances? And I couldn't go to another room because I didn't have the whole thing set up. So hopefully you guys are okay. Hopefully the stress of the sound is gone. Hold one knee into your chest, lengthen the other knee, the other leg. And then let's do the same thing on the other side. Switch legs. And then let's take our strap. Get your strap, the right leg up, take the strap on the arch and have your knee bent at first. Wrap your hands around your strap. And let's do a little bit of bend and straighten. Holding onto your strap, try to let your sole of your foot point up towards the sky. So you're trying to get some proper functionality into the knee joint here. And bring yourself up to center. Pull that leg down the socket. Straighten the other leg if that's appropriate for you. And let's stretch the back of the right thigh. So draw the leg towards the wall behind you. You can keep the leg straight if you want to strengthen your pelvic bones, or bend your knee if that's appropriate for you. And then take one more breath. And then let's stretch the inner thigh. Take your hand in the strap, slide your hand down. So if you have the other leg bent, go ahead and do that. Take the opposite hand to the side. Let's lengthen the leg away from you to the side. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Take one more breath. And then bring yourself back up. Take the strap in the opposite, stretch the side of the leg. This is really important, especially for you if you have knee issues. That band of tissue that's behind the knee, on the side of the knee joint here, could get really tight. So I want you to think about the leg bone, the upper leg bone, from where it attaches to the knee. This is the bone. This is the part of your body that's moving to the side. So don't make it be that you're trying to get the foot over. The foot's going to go, but I really want it to be this leg that actually moves to the side. Now, posterior hip replacement people, be careful, because again, we're in that side posterior hip capsule, so be careful. The farther over you go, the more intense the stretch is. I don't do this on my other side for my hip replacement, but I do it on the side to stretch. So that upper leg bone is going. My tushy is still pretty much on the floor, except for the edge here. So you're not tilting your pelvis. You're not rotating your trunk. This is leg and hip and pelvis. And then bring yourself back to center. Take your hand on the strap and stretch your ankle joint side to side. And then let's switch legs. Bring the left leg up. Wrap your hands around. So for those of you that are still here, thank you for putting up with the noise. So today's class is extra stressful, so that we can. So, okay, bend and leg. Bend and straighten to warm it up. Okay, and then we're going to stretch the leg. So stretch the leg towards the wall behind you. If I knew how to turn off the volume on the YouTube live, I don't know if just turning off my volume works, but I don't know how to do that. So we're going to have to turn off our ears. Focus on your breath. Take one more breath. And then we're going to go out to the side. So you're going to bring the strap closer to in your left hand. And then you're going to bring the left leg out to the left. Feel that stretch on the inner thigh area. Inner knee, inner thigh. If your leg is straight, you're pulling on the pelvis. This is going to strengthen the pelvis, which is very important for fracture prevention, making this part of your body nice and strong. Take one more breath. And bring yourself back up center. Now we're going to do that iliotibial band. This is the band of tissue that attaches to the bone and then all the way down to the lower leg bone. And really tight for a lot of people with knee issues. And then, of course, if you have issues in this part of your body, it's going to translate to ankle, to feet, to balance, to low back. So really important to have this part of your body not causing stress on the other joints, the joints below, the joints above. So you're going to guide the upper leg bone over to the side, whatever tension feels appropriate for your body. So feel your way into this one. Go as far as it feels appropriate for you. And then take one more breath. And then bring yourself back to center. Take your strap and side to side for the ankle joint. This will help with balance and fall prevention. Make your feet nice and pliable. And then go ahead. Take the strap off. Knees into your chest. This is always a nice equalizer here. Knees into the chest. And then bring yourself onto your side. Take your hand, you're gonna push yourself away to come up to a seated position. So taking out tension when we stretch our muscles, that last movement we did, the iliotibial band, right here, attaches to the ilium up here, which is a pelvic bone, goes all the way down the side and attaches to the tibia, the lower leg bone. Very important to stretch that. And it doesn't feel good to stretch that. It's kind of I want to say ugly stretch. Like I use that word ugly whenever I have to stretch it because it feels like, ugh. So, all right. So stretching to take away the tension and then creating power and strength in your body to be able to manage life and stress and all of that. All right. So let's do a little bit of puppy dog here. Let's take your hands forward, forward, forward. Keep your tushy in the air. You're going to be bending at the hip joint here. Keep your spine nice and long. To bring yourself back into a puppy dog, let the forehead touch the floor, the arms stay straight, tushy is in the air. And think about your spine creating length between each vertebra. So really, really lengthen your spine here. Push your belly button up towards your spine and point your tailbone away from you. Feel that strong stretch underneath your chest. Push your heart towards the ground. Keep your spine nice and neutral curve. Upper spine. So it's the center of the forehead that touches the floor. Deep breaths. Take one more breath. You're going to take your hands, walk your hands over to the right. Both of them, keep the arms straight. You could rest your head on your left arm if you'd like. Walk your left arm over and away from you. Head rests on the left arm. Feel that stretch on the left side. Keep your tushy in the air. Your tushy is back, almost hovering over your heels. If your tushy is right above your pelvis, you will not be experiencing this deep stretch. You have to feel your weight falling backwards, and your hands are stopping your body weight from falling. It's like if you lift your hands off the floor, you feel like you'd fall towards your heels. So create that traction. Take one more breath. And then walk your hands now over to the left. Walk, 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 and then rest your head on your right arm. Stretch that right side body. Deep breaths here. Take one more breath. Bring yourself back to center your puppy dog. Make sure your pelvis is falling back, your arms are straight, forehead on the floor, lengthen your spine. And then go ahead and bring yourself up. Take a break for a second. Ooh. Lots of upper body stretching. And so that is going to take away the stress of gravity that pushes on you all day long, keeping your posture, keeping yourself from becoming this and getting stuck like this. So this shape, the Hunchback of Notre Dame, when calcium comes and lays down more tissue, you've all heard of bone spurs and or maybe osteophytes. If it stays there for a long time, it hardens. So for people who are in that really severe hunchback,
it's very hard for them to break up all that tissue to come back to be erect and upright. So if you're not there, if you're not here, don't get there. And that stretching the tissue of the upper body and the tightness of what comes into the front of the body to let that happen or to be a part of that. All right, so we are going to do a plank posture for 1 minute. And you choose, you're either gonna come into a full plank, or you're gonna be in a modified plank, or you're gonna go down into a dolphin. To do what's appropriate for you, take your hands, fingertips are forward, bring one foot back, all 5 toes touch, and bring the other foot back, all 5 toes touch. Make sure you're nice and stable and linear here. Push your feet into the floor, activate your core, so hug your spine, hug your lower spine with the muscles of the lower trunk, and then lengthen yourself. Nice and long, lengthen your spine. Push away from the floor with the fingers, push away from the floor with the hands. So activate the fingers as well, help to distribute the weight, and then push the feet into the floor. Feel the power. Of course, coming down whenever you need. And then bring yourself down. Come to sit back on your heels if that's available and shake your wrists. Let's stretch the wrists. One hand and then the other. Gotta keep our wrists mobile so that if you do slip, trip, or fall, you're able to brace yourself without pulling on the bones and fracturing them. And maybe even then that'll still happen. So we do what we can, we do the best we can. All right, ready to come down onto the ground, strengthening your back. So get ready. Let's come on to all fours to do a little cat-cow. Hands are wide, knees are wide, hands are forward. You're gonna inhale into your extension, your cow posture. Stretch your belly, feel the belly stretch. And then begin with the tailbone. Point the tailbone down the back wall. Let the lower back to a flat position or a round position if you're able to get that. If you have osteoporosis, stop there and keep it in that lower body when you come into flexion. And if you do not have osteoporosis, you could bring that flexion into the rest of your spine, long spine, and then add the flexion. So you don't want to compress the front of your vertebra right where the lower ribs are if you have osteoporosis, because that's where most of the fractures occur. Inhale. Exhale. Really feel your body stretch, so close your eyes and feel it. Bring yourself back to center. Fingertips are pointing forward, toes are in the floor. Bring your pelvis forward, bend your elbows, keep them at the side of the body. Look forward to the front edge of your mat as you slowly lower down to come onto your tummy, and then push yourself back. Let's take the hands, fold the hands, one's on top of the other and the elbows are straight out to the side. Let your head rest. And then try to let your rib cage rest here. Let the toes touch. We're going to do a little to strengthen the upper back. So in your next inhalation, lift up by the nape of the neck, like a mama cat raising her kitten up, and exhale to lower. Close your eyes and feel the muscles contract to lift you up. Back muscles, muscles of posture, lifting you up. You may even feel stuff deep down by your hips or in your low back area as the hip flexor muscle, the psoas, one of the hip flexors, may be stretching here as well.
Next time you come up, stay up. Stay here. Your upper back is what's lifting up the most. The back neck is nice and not tense. Push your belly button or your pubic bone towards the floor. Take one more breath and exhale to lower. Bring the arms alongside the body. Forehead touches the floor, nose touches the floor. Let your elbows be about the height of your shoulders. Palms are open on the floor. Big toes are touching. All toenails are touching. Exhale. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. Inhale. Exhale. On the next one, come up and stay up. Stay here. Stay here. Push your pubic bone towards the floor. Hug your lower lumbar spine with your muscles of your core. On your next exhale, lower down. Bring your hands alongside your body. Palms are open. Thumbs are right around armpit or a little higher, depending. And then let your forehead touch the floor. Push your hands into the floor. So when you push your hands in strongly and you start to slide them back towards your feet, you should feel a little release in your low back here. So you're really active. You're pushing your hands down and you're sliding them back towards your legs, but they're pushing in the floor. They're not moving. It's a muscular action. Push down, slide down towards your feet. Exhale, and then inhale, lift up with the nape of the neck. Let your head come up a little bit more this time. This is a cobra. Exhale to lower. Go slow. Feel all those muscles in your back contracting to lift you up, to lift your torso away from the floor. Muscles of posture, alignment, very important. Inhale to rise. Exhale to lower. And it's a back bend, so let your back be doing all this work. Feel it. On the next one, I want you to come up and stay up. Push your hands down, lift yourself up, stay here. Pushing your feet into the floor, push your pubic bone towards the floor, hands are on the floor. Now lift your hands away for a second. If you went lower, stay down to where your body went. So it's not your hands that are holding you up, it's the muscles of the back. Feel the shoulders, the upper shoulders attached to the pelvis. Those muscles are tightening to lift you up. Don't let it be just your head that's lifting. Take one more breath and then lower down. Let your head turn to the left. Let the right ear, right cheek touch the floor. Take your hands down alongside your body and let your shoulders round forward. Let your feet be as wide as your mat and wiggle yourself back and forth side to side. If you need to take your left hand out because it's too tense, you bring your arm to the side or bend the elbow. And if that's the case, this is tightness in your upper back and neck and postural muscles. So you've got to work to keep that loose and soft so it doesn't eventually harden and get stuck. Let's go to the other side. Tuck your chin down towards your chest. Lift your head up. Rotate your neck as you turn your head to the other side. Left ear, left cheek. Notice what you notice here. Usually both sides are different. So notice what you notice. If you need to take your arm out to the side to release the tension, go ahead. Palm down or bend the elbow. Take one more breath. Let's come into a locust posture. Bring your soles are up towards the sky, the big toes are touching, the arms are down alongside the body, the forehead touches the floor. You're going to inhale, lift your arms off the floor, your legs off the floor, your upper body off the floor, and exhale to lower. Be in the back of your body. Feel those muscles contract to lift you up. Exhale into a back bend, and inhale to lower. Come up and stay up for 3 breaths. Coming in into 3 breaths, eventually working yourself up to a 30-second hold and lowering all the way down. We'll do one more of these. Take your hands behind your back, clasp your hands behind your back. So try to get the palms to touch. The big toes are touching. Clasp your hands. If this doesn't work, you could keep your arms alongside your body. You're going to inhale to lift up. Stay here. So if you can take about 7 breaths, which for many people is about a 30-second hold, or if you need to take less, take less. Keep your arms away from your tushy. Lift your arms, lift your legs, lift your head. Lift up, feel the back of your body contract. Moving your hands down towards your feet. Soles the feet up towards the sky, long spine, and contracted muscles in the back of the body. Last breath. Take your hands, fold your hands one on top of the other. Take your feet wide off the mat and come to the inner edge of the big toe side of your feet. This is called crocodile. Take your feet really wide. Try to get the inner edge from the big toe to the heels to touch. You may not be able to get that. If you need to keep your feet flat, go ahead. And then rest your head on your backs of the hands. Bring your awareness to your breath and start to breathe down to the low belly. So breathe down to the low belly so that your lower body releases tension in the spine, helping to release low back tension. Take 5 breaths here. Take 5 breaths as you breathe down to your belly. Bring your legs back. Bend your legs and let your legs go side to side. You can let your legs be spread a little bit here. Take away that tension in the low. So try not to make it too muscular. Let the weight of the feet take the legs to the side. And then let your feet go on the ground. Bring yourself up onto your elbows and then take your hands and support your head here. So you're on your elbows and you're supporting your head with your heel of your hands. If you need to walk your arms a little bit forward, you're supporting the weight of your head, heel of the hands touches the jaw. This helps to realign the lumbar spine. Take one more breath. Bring your arm up, let's roll onto the side. Stay here, cradle your head in your arm. Settle here. You're going to open up your hand, push yourself to come up to a seated position. And take your blanket up. All right, so we're going to come down onto the ground, release tension in the body, and then end with Shavasana. So bring yourself all the way down onto the ground, bringing your knees into your chest, rocking side to side. Take your legs up to the sky and shake your legs. Feel the heaviness of the bones as they settle back into the hips. This is a great way to release tension in the pelvic area and the low back. Feel the weight of the legs going, and then press the low back towards the floor here. It's a little active core pressing low back to the floor. Take the arms, add the arms. And then draw the knees into the chest, side to side. Take the right ankle over the left ankle. Yeah. Take the right ankle over the left ankle and reach around and grab your feet. And then pull your legs down and side to side. Let's take the left ankle over the right ankle. Grab your feet if you can. And then come into a Shavasana. Stay in your Shavasana for as long as you'd like. If you'd like to play some nice music, that's also a good thing to do. Play something beautiful. Gently begin to deepen the breath. Start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Draw your knees into your chest. Drawing your knees into your chest, rock side to side. And then all the way onto the right side, or whatever side actually. Come onto your side, push yourself up to a seated position.
Keep your eyes closed. Bring your hands to your chest. We're going to close with the sound to down to your belly.
Bowing to each other in namaste. Namaste.
Thank you. I'm so sorry for all the disruptive noise. Oh my gosh. Sorry. I try not to say sorry very much. I know that this requires pardon my noise. All right. So I hope that wasn't too disruptive for all the troopers that have still stayed here. And I hope no one's new to me and this is your first time and you're like, oh my God, what's going on at that girl's place? Construction is happening, ironically, right at this time. So I don't know what that's for you guys. I'll listen back and I'll be mortified, like, oh my gosh. Anyway, Sharon, that's like such a positive way to look at things. I was sitting here thinking about like, I know what's happening here, like and I was grateful for the fact that I could actually have what's being done, even though it was so damn noisy. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to try to find the silver lining here. So I was looking at that. Okay, great, Stevie and Nancy and Joanne. Yeah. Joanne, you laughed out loud. I'm like, oh my God, are they going to puncture a gas line? Is my house going to explode? Because then I heard him say, oh, that's gas, that's water. I thought, shit, are these guys going to like puncture my gas line and it's going to be an explosion? Oh, life. All right. So anyway, thank you so much for being here. And George, you know what? The other day they were here on Thursday and they were cutting holes in my wall and the dust got so bad my fire alarm was going on. So then it triggered my fire, whatever I have here. And so the fire department called me to see if they needed to come out. Oh my God. Yay. Okay. Okay. We're grateful for all of this, but yes. Okay, perfect. All right. Well, anyway, thank you so much for being here. And I hope that your body feels nice and strong. I hope your low back doesn't hurt. I hope I did enough at the end to take the tension out of the low back because that's a lot of back work today. And it can actually be like tough for those with low back issues. So I hope that it didn't poke the monster for those of you that have back issues. All right. I'm off to Carpe Diem and I hope you are too. See you in my next class. Bye.